Okay, let's go to Jim Jordan. I think he's speaking now live. Let's take a listen.
In both President Zelensky and President Trump have said, and of course, President Zelensky didn't pledge to do any investigations prior to the aid being released, and the Ukrainians didn't know that the aid was even on hold at the time of the call. There are their first two witnesses. Neither one of them's ever talked to the president, talked to Chief of Staff Mulvaney, or talked with Mayor Giuliani. And as I said with Ambassador Taylor, he had 3 meetings with President Zelensky, and all 3 of those meetings never once did this idea of linking security assistance dollars to an investigation ever come up. And of course, we know what President Zelensky said: no pledge, no promise, no starting of any investigations prior to the aid being released. So, again, I think this is a sad chapter for the country, but frankly, a good day for the facts and a good day for the President of the United States. I want to turn over to Ms. Stefanik.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. This was Adam Schiff's first opportunity in front of the public. These hearings have been conducted in a basement bunker, part of his regime of secrecy, and this was an abject failure for the Democrats and for Adam Schiff. Number one, he still refuses to hear from the whistleblower, which started off this whole process. Number two, in less than 20 minutes, Adam Schiff interrupted Republicans' questions. So we want to make sure that all members are able to ask questions. That includes Republican members. This is a continuation of his conduct in closed-door meetings. And as Jim Jordan mentioned, the key facts here are as follows. 1, Ukraine got the aid. 2, there was no investigation into the Bidens. Those facts speak for themselves, and I'm proud of our members for making sure that those facts were clear for the American public. I'll turn it back over to...
We'll take a couple questions.
Mr. Jordan, what about the idea, though, and this is something Mr. Castro got into, the idea that, there's, attempted crimes, attempted murder, attempted burglary, and even if something was attempted, even if there was no deliverable, isn't that relevant still if something was, quote,
Chad, look, Ukraine's one, as Ernst & Young said, one of the 3 most corrupt countries on the planet. President Trump and our administration, or his administration, was checking them out. And guess what? After Vice President Pence visited with Mr. Zelensky, after Senators Johnson and Murphy visited with President Zelensky, 6 days later the aid is released because they all became convinced this is a guy worth sending the hard-earned tax dollars of the American people to. That is clear from the record. Never once in this 55-day time frame, never once did President Zelensky announce that he was going to start any type of investigation into Burisma or Biden's? Never once. And yet the aid got released. So the facts are the facts. You guys can talk about all you want, and the Democrats can do all they want, but the facts will not change, and I think the American people clearly see that.
The point that these are secondhand witnesses, but the White House is
not secondhand. It's Sondland talked to Yarmak, and then Yarmak and Sondland have a conversation. Then Sondland talks to Morrison, and then Morrison talks to Taylor, and this all happens in Warsaw, where Vice President Pence is meeting with President Zelensky, and nothing happens there. That's unbelievable.
To finish the question, the White House has been blocking some of the first-hand witnesses from actually coming and participating in this inquiry, from responding to requests to testify.
And these are close advisors of the president.
Should they be coming?
Well, that's a long tradition in our country and precedent in our country. These are close advisors to the president, and there's a court case. We'll see. I think it's December 10th. They're going to rule on the Bolton motion, so we'll find out then.
So you do not believe his testimony that Gordon Sondland made clear that after his conversation with President Trump that everything was contingent on announcing his investigations. Are you just simply saying you don't believe what said?
I understand the facts, as Ms. Stefanik just said, as we said in the committee. I understand the facts, and the facts are squarely, strongly on the president's side, and I think, again, the American people see that.
We talked to Gordon Sondland. We talked to the
one more.
If you feel so strongly why not push the White House to also let you speak those first-hand witnesses like Bolton and Mulvaney? Why not encourage the president?
Well, I want to hear from... In the whistleblower's complaint, bullet point number 1, he says this: over the past 4 months, I have talked to more than half a dozen U.S. officials. I want to hear from the whistleblower and those officials that he or she talked to. I want to hear from those individuals.
Why not ask the White House?
Why not those witnesses the White House is preventing?
Again, that's their call. These are close advisors to the president. The long history of our country is they don't have to testify.
Wouldn't it make your case easier if they testified?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the court says on Bolton and Mulvaney. That's up to them.
And do you feel, though, just because there are alleged associations, the whistleblower with a Democratic politician, a prominent Democrat, does that biases that person inherently? Is that part of your?
All I've ever said is there's one member of Congress who knows who the whistleblower is, and one member of Congress whose staff has met with the whistleblower, and that's Adam Schiff. That hadn't happened to anyone else.
Is it okay for the president to ask for an investigation into the Bidens from the Ukrainians? Is that okay for you?
I think what should happen is the whistleblower should testify. All we asked for today with our motion was to depose the whistleblower.
How was day one on the Intel committee? Did you have fun?